Hello and welcome back to another episode of Vintage Glamour. I'm your host Key Michel and welcome back to the show. So what is going on, everyone? I'm very happy to be back here with you all for another episode. And I also hope that everyone is having a great day thus far, as well as a great start to the month of June. Now we are at the 6th month of the year, the halfway mark, and I know that a lot of people are really excited for summer 2022, and I am one of those people. I am definitely one of those people. And if you don't have any plans yet for the summer, it's okay if you don't have any plans yet. I think having a spontaneous summer is actually quite adventurous, if you ask me. So if you don't have any plans yet, that's okay. Just walk with the intention of knowing that you're going to have an amazing summer and it's going to be filled with a lot of blissful times. So you all, we did not have a full episode last week. I came through just to let you all know that because it was a holiday weekend, that I would be putting out an episode the following week. So we did not have a full episode last week. And throughout the week, I was actually thinking about, okay, what am I going to discuss on Vintage Glamour this upcoming week? What are we going to talk about? And the topic came to me, and I actually think this is a really interesting topic, a very interesting topic, and I'm sure you all are really familiar with this topic as well, because a lot of people have been discussing this on and even off of social media. And so I said, you know what, I really want to discuss this topic because I think I have a unique perspective and I really wanted to share it with the community here. So the topic for today is the societal pressure to dress like everyone else. The societal pressure to dress like everyone else. Now, I see this a lot on social media. I see this a lot. Not necessarily everyone dressing the same, but people commenting and stating how everyone is dressing the same and how there is a lack of individuality. I was even on Twitter recently and I stumbled across this tweet where this girl stated, yawn, yawn, everyone is dressing the same. There's such a lack of individuality. It's so boring. And when I read the tweet, I said, wow, this keeps coming up. This keeps coming up. So I definitely wanted to discuss this topic with you all today. So I think, to really dive into this topic, we first have to start off by discussing personal style. So personal style is something that is not as common as a lot of people may think. It really is not that common. And, I know that a lot of people probably that can serve amazing looks. They look really stylish. They look amazing. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they are showcasing their personal style. That doesn't mean that at all. I even know people personally that can serve looks, and they have told me, Key, I don't have a personal style. They're turning to me to help them, and I'm like, wait, you don't have a personal style? But I thought that was your style. They're like, no, this is not my personal style. I'm just dressing, just to dress like this, but this isn't really my personal style at all. And so it really isn't that common, you all. It really isn't that common personal style. And I think that there are a lot of reasons. I think that, a lot of people do live in fear when it comes to dressing the way they want to dress. And, they probably have, their own, ideas about, okay, are people going to judge me for showcasing my own personal style? What are people going to say? They probably have their own limiting beliefs. Their own limiting beliefs about it. But, I also think that there is a lack of education in the fashion industry when it comes to personal style. When you go on a fashion magazine, you're looking at the latest trends or, the latest styles or the latest style tips for the spring, the summer, the fall, or the winter. But you're not really going to see a lot of fashion magazines talk about how to find or embrace your own personal style. There really isn't a lot of education. And even when it comes to fashion brands, a lot of fashion brands are not educating people on how to find or embrace their own personal styles. They're selling their merchandise, they're marketing their brand, right? They're not really, educating people on how to embrace or find their own personal styles. And this isn't me knocking any of, these fashion media brands or fashion brands at all. This is actually me just being really transparent with you all that when it comes to the fashion industry as a whole, there is a lack of education when it comes to finding and embracing one's personal style. So I think that there are 3 reasons why people feel pressure to dress like everyone else. I think that people feel like, they're trying to understand who they are. They are trying to understand who they are. And, when you don't really know who you are, it will be really hard for you to showcase who you are through your personal style. I think the next reason is that they have no idea what their true personal style is, and instead of finding it, they are keeping up with the Joneses. And I think the last reason is that they are scared to be themselves or to be perceived as different. So they rather conform. And, this can be a combination of 2 of the reasons, or it can even be all of the reasons for some people, right? It can even be all of the reasons. So a couple of episodes prior, we actually discussed the that girl trend. And in that episode, I discussed how many people have been hopping on the that girl trend, but they are losing their own individuality along the way. And it's the same thing with fashion. A lot of people are hopping on the latest fashion trends, but they are losing their own individuality along the way. But to be honest, I really do believe that, when it comes to fashion, a lot more people want to express themselves. I really do. But I think that a lot of people are simply too scared to. I think a lot of people are scared to. I think out of all the reasons that I stated, I think that a lot of people are really scared to express themselves when it comes to their personal style. I think that a lot of people are wondering, okay, what are people going to say? How are people going to view me? Are they going to like my style? I think a lot of people really care about the thoughts and the opinions of others, right? And, when it comes to personal style, I think you have to have a lot of courage and the burning desire to be yourself and the burning desire to want to express yourself unapologetically. I really do. And, when I was in high school, that is when I found my own personal style. And I followed what everybody else was wearing when I was a freshman. You're coming in to your freshman year, you're seeing everybody wearing the Lacoste, the True Religions, the 7 jeans. And I'm like, well, hey, I'm going to wear the same thing. You want to fit in, you want to keep up with the Joneses. So I'm like, I'm going to wear the same thing. But, along my journey, I just felt like, man, this isn't me. This is not me. I'm wearing what everybody else is wearing, and I felt completely lost. Completely lost. And I said to myself, you know what? I gotta showcase my own style. I gotta start dressing how I want to dress. I have to be myself here. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to wear what everybody else is wearing. I'm going to find my own personal style. And that's exactly what I did. But along the way, there were a lot of people that embraced my new style, but there were some people that definitely talked about me. I remember walking, through the hallways and having people just chitter and chatter about, oh, what is she wearing? She don't even match. Like, what has she got on? And, for some reason, it didn't shake me up enough to make me say, oh no, I can't do this no more. I gotta go back to following the crowd and keeping up with the Joneses. Of course you're like, well, wow, y'all are really talking about me. But for some reason, that burning desire of wanting to just be myself and express myself took over. And I continued to just experiment and find my own personal style. And by my junior year, my style was a staple. It was something that people knew me for. Like, oh, yeah, we know Key. Yeah, she has like this dope style. We know her because she's always into fashion. And it got to the point where, a guy I was dating at the time, people would even ask him, where does Key get this? Where does Key get that? And it would always intrigue me because I'm like, wow, just a couple of years ago, there were some people that were chittering and chattering as I walked through the hallways about what is she wearing? She don't even match. What is she wearing, right? So that took a lot of courage. It really did. It took a lot of courage, but it also took the burning desire to want to be myself. And I had that burning desire. I was tired of following the crowd. I was tired of feeling completely lost in what I was wearing. I knew I wasn't, staying true to myself at all. I knew that deep down inside. And even though there were some people that were talking about me, it wasn't enough to throw me off my course. It wasn't enough at all. I said, you know what? No, I'm just going to continue to do what I'm doing. And you know what, you all? If I did not have that courage and that burning desire, there would probably be no Vintage Glamour. There would probably be no Key to Fashion, right? There would probably be no Key to Fashion because that's the catalyst for this all. That was the catalyst for this all. And maybe, we never know. Maybe somewhere along the journey of life, I probably would have found my personal style maybe in my 20s or maybe in my 30s, right? Or beyond that. But, you never know. I think there would probably not have been a Key to Fashion right now if it wasn't for that story, because that is the story of why I'm here today. And that is one of the main reasons why I think it's so important for people to find and embrace their own personal styles, because of what it did for me. What it did for me, that feeling I had inside, I love the fact that I was able to express myself with what I was wearing. I love that feeling. And, I completely understand that although there might be a lot of people that want to experience that feeling as well, that they might be feeling a lot of fear right now. And, I completely understand. I get it. Maybe you're listening right now and you're one of those people and you're wondering like, man, like, I want to be able to find and embrace my own personal style, but I don't know what people are going to say. I don't know if people are going to talk about me. And listen, if people talk about you, only somebody that is deeply insecure, isn't happy with themselves, or wants to do what you're doing is going to talk about you. And honestly, you're not even going to care. You're really not going to care. Maybe in the beginning you might care, but when it comes to that burning desire is going to completely take over. It's going to completely take over. And in the end, you're going to be so proud of yourself that you kept going. You're going to be so proud of yourself. But I do give people grace that, are still living in fear when it comes to finding and embracing their own personal styles. And I think society needs to do the same. I know that, like I stated, a lot of people have been mentioning, oh, everybody keeps dressing the same. Everybody looks the same. But there's a lot of factors that play here. We discuss them, when it comes to the fashion industry not really educating people on how to embrace or find their own personal styles, or even how some people might not know who they are, or they might feel scared to express who they are. Or they might want to just, conform and keep up with the Joneses. But either way, I think it's really important to give people grace, right? And just to encourage people to, be able to take that leap of faith to find and embrace their own personal style. So I'm here to tell anybody that is listening right now and you have that burning desire within, or maybe you have a thought, right? You've been thinking about this for some time. Like, man, I gotta find my own personal style. I got to embrace my own personal style. I am here to really give you some words of encouragement that you can do it. You can do it. Challenge yourself little by little to incorporate styles that you have always wanted to incorporate into your own personal style, right? But you have been really scared to do it. You've just been too scared to do it, right? I challenge you little by little to incorporate those styles. And along your style journey, you are going to start to feel so confident and so liberated. And most importantly, so proud of yourself. And remember, this is a journey. This is a journey. So don't be so hard on yourself about it. I know that, there's some people that have mentioned to me that they, want to find their own personal styles, but they don't view themselves as a fashionista or a fashion icon. And you got to start viewing yourself as your own fashion icon. You do. You really do. You got to start viewing yourself as your own fashion icon. And that's actually the reason why in the Key to Fashion community, I refer to the community as fashion icons, because you have to be able to draw inspiration from within to be your own fashion icon. Yeah, you can look at, other style icons that you absolutely love and adore, but that is still their personal style. That is them expressing who they are from within, right? They're expressing who they are from within with their personal style. So, for example, I love Rihanna. I love Bad Gal Riri. I really do, right? And I love her style. But that's her style. We don't dress the same at all. That is Rihanna's style, right? And there are some things that Rihanna has worn in the past that I wouldn't necessarily wear. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't like it. It doesn't mean that it's not stylish. It's just not my style. It's just not my swag, right? And that's okay. That is the beauty of personal style. That is the beauty of personal style. So you have to be able to look at yourself as your own fashion icon. As your own fashion icon. There's something really powerful about that. When you start to view yourself as your own style icon, as your own fashion icon, right? I think for a lot of people that might have a lot of limiting beliefs when it comes to um, embracing and finding their own personal style, I think when you start to change your mindset and you start to view yourself as your own fashion icon, it's really going to start to build your style confidence as well. So, once again, this is a journey. This is a journey, and I'm giving you grace, so give yourself grace as well. If you feel like you've been dressing like everybody else, it's okay. It's okay. I was dressing like everybody else too in high school. I was dressing like everybody else too. It's okay. We all got to start from somewhere, right? It's okay. It's okay. Give yourself grace. I'm giving you grace, so give yourself grace. But challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Even this summer or whenever you tune in to this episode, challenge yourself little by little to find and embrace your personal style. Start to incorporate styles into your personal style that you have always wanted to try or wear. And I always tell people, for example, if you go thrifting, right, and you see things that you're like, okay, I don't really know if I could really wear this. I don't really know if this is my style. I always tell people to buy it, because I have found in my own experience the items that I'm like, I really love it. I love it, but I wonder how I'm going to wear this. Listen, any item that I have ever said that about is like my closet staple, my wardrobe staple. I love those items that make you say, you know what, I really love this, But this is really going to push me to experiment with my style. Those are the gems that I'm like, oh my gosh, I love these gems for life. I can never part with them. So listen, if whenever you go thrifting and you catch an item that really, really catches your eye, and you're like, you know what, I really like this, but I don't know. Get that item. I can guarantee you're going to love it. And even if you check out the Key to Fashion Vintage shop and you see gems that, really catch your eye, but you're like, I don't really know. Once again, get the gem. I can guarantee you're going to love that gem. So you all, I really hope that this episode resonated with somebody out there today. I really felt like this was a topic that I had a really unique spin on. I wasn't going to come through and just bash everybody that's dressing like everybody else, because I think there's a lot of factors at play here. And when it comes to the fashion industry, as I stated before, the industry really isn't educating people on how to find their own personal style at all. At all. You might find some articles, some videos on YouTube, but as a whole, that isn't, the industry's main focus at all. The industry is showing you trends, the latest trends, the latest styles, the latest collections, innovations. That's what the industry is really showcasing. So I think it's really important for us to understand that, along with people probably having their own limiting beliefs, their own fears, and their own lack of courage, the industry also doesn't really educate people on how to embrace and find their own personal style. And so that's why I'm really, passionate about it, because as I stated before, I know what, finding and embracing my personal style has done for me and for my life. I love my personal style. I feel it's so liberating. It feels so liberating, you all, to get dressed and to put on whatever you want to put on, and you're not thinking about, oh, what is so-and-so going to say about this look? How are they going to, feel about it? That doesn't come to mind when you have your own personal style. You don't care because it's for you. You don't care at all. At all. At all. That does not come to your mind at all. At all. And as I'm thinking about this, I even had, because, I'm Caribbean, so I even had some of my family members when I was, embarking on my style journey. I remember this as a teen. They'd be like, what is Kiki wearing? Like, what is she wearing? What is she wearing? But, my family loves my style, and they were just joking around with me. They weren't being mean or anything like that. But, sometimes even when your family members can joke around with you, for some people, it can make them still feel like, okay, I don't want to do this no more. But I'm like, I don't care. I feel too good right now. And you want to feel good. You deserve to feel good. You have only one life to live. You have only one life to live. Express yourself. Express yourself with your personal style. I'm telling you right now, it is such a liberating feeling. And it just makes the fashion experience, so fun. So fun. So fun. If you love fashion right now, I'm telling you, like, when you find and embrace your personal style, you're going to love fashion 100 times more. It just makes the experience a beautiful one. I mean it. It makes it a beautiful one indeed. So, but like I said, this is a journey. So I am giving, you all grace. So give yourself grace as well, and have fun with the journey. Have fun experimenting. Have fun and be proud of yourself. Be proud of yourself, because as I stated, having your own personal style, it takes courage and the burning desire to want to be yourself and to want to express yourself. So, before I really wrap this episode up, I want to leave you all with a few announcements. So, the first announcement is that there are new gems up on the site. I actually put up some new gems up on the site, and I want to say thank you to everyone that supported the drop that I had last week. I really appreciate it. I really, really, really do. The second announcement is that there are new articles up on the site as well. So definitely check out the new articles. I also want to say to the people that have been subscribing to the YouTube channel, thank you so much for subscribing to the YouTube channel. That is really where I'm moving Key to Fashion. So I know that people are, going to subscribe, whenever they want to subscribe or whenever they feel like they should subscribe. But that is going to be the main platform. So shout out to everyone that has been subscribing thus far and, has been, embarking on this journey with me, because I feel like whoever is subscribing, you're really, along this journey with me. I definitely believe that YouTube is definitely a journey, and it's a journey that I have always wanted to do. I have always wanted to do YouTube, so I'm really excited about it. The third announcement, I'm over here like because I did not write the announcements down, and I definitely should. I think I don't have anything else to say. I don't have a third announcement, but I guess the third announcement can be, I just want to express gratitude and say thank you to everyone that has been tuning into this show. I really do. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you all that tunes into the show. Thank you to everyone that has been reaching out to me and sharing, how these episodes have really been resonating with you all. I really appreciate that. Not for the validation of like, oh, thank you, but it's really because of like, okay, I know that, these episodes are really impacting people in a positive way, because every time I think of an episode in the week, I really think about, okay, what am I going to talk about? It has to be something that is really going to inspire and empower this community. That's really my mission with the show. I really want to inspire and empower this community. And so to know that, people really feel like the episodes are really resonating with them, that's always great to hear. It really is. It's always great to hear. And I think another thing I'm going to say, this just came to mind, is, I know that there's a lot going on in the world, you all. There's a lot going on in the world. And maybe there's a lot going on in your own life. I don't know, right? But give yourself grace. Give yourself grace. And also, try your best to keep the optimism alive, okay? Keep the optimism and the faith alive. There's a lot going on recently in the world, and if you're from America, there has been a lot going on in America. And I don't mean to end the episode with this downer, but this just came to mind. I feel like a lot of people have been affected by what's been going on. So I want to say, you know what? You got to give yourself grace. You got to give yourself grace. I think being an empathetic person, it isn't easy, at all. A lot of people talk about, I'm an empath, but it isn't easy to be an empath. You really take in a lot of this stuff, right? So, give yourself grace. Always keep your faith alive. Keep that optimism alive. And if you're going through anything in your own personal life, always remember that this too shall pass. And this story, whatever part of your story that you're going through right now that may be difficult, you may have a testimony that you need to share with somebody else. So don't give up on yourself at all. Don't give up on yourself. You're doing your best. You're doing your best. And you got to remember that. You're doing your best. So, I don't know. That just came to my mind. So I wanted to state that just in case, anybody has been affected by what's been going on in the world or in your own personal life, as I stated. I just wanted to share some words of encouragement. And with that being said, you all, as always, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Vintage Glamour. And I hope you all have a great one. Bye now.